So the idea here was to look at what these events actually mean today. So to celebrate these commonalities through architecture was the expression which I tried to derive from my research. So the project is called Sundar Man. Hello, I'm Yaqeen. I'm an architect. I studied architecture at Vidyavardhan's IDEA at Nasik. Further on, I worked for 1 year as a professional in the city, and now I am currently pursuing my master's at CEPT University. I believe that architecture is an expression of the ideas embodied in a society, and that is what makes it something to behold. That is what makes it valuable. So my journey began in 1905, wherein I started looking at the partition of Bengal, and then I went on to find about what happened in 1947, and again what happened in 1971. So the area of research or interest here was the event of partition, which happened along the border of Bengal. So what happened here has a lot of repercussion in the culture which is tied to the land there. So what are these ties of culture? The ties of culture exist in the commonalities which are shared. The land of Bengal had been divided before, and then the culture is what which kept it going and holding. So what are these commonalities? What are these shared values which these people have? So it is the language, the literature, the music and the food of the area. It is the theatre, it is the sport which holds the land together, which holds the people together. So this becomes the stimulus for the research, and on this, when it was analyzed, was the response which I tried to come up with. So the idea here was to look at what these events actually mean today. So to celebrate these commonalities through architecture was the expression which I tried to derive from my research. So the project is called Sundar Man. Sundar Man is actually beautiful heart, and this actually relates to Sundar Ban, which is the beautiful forest which expands over the both lands of Bengal. So the proposal here is to develop two architectural structures or two memorials or two places wherein these people can congregate, these people can come back. And these are proposed in two cities, one that of Kolkata and the other is Dhaka in Bangladesh. So West Bengal and Bangladesh, these two cities are like twin cities. So they developed simultaneously in the last 100, 200 years in a similar way. And that is how these developments have been proposed. In the interest of time, this design explores the design of the space in Kolkata. Coming to the site, what happens here is that it is divided by a road called the Strand Road, which is one of the most important roads in the city. And on one side is the river Hooghly. Rivers form one of the most important part of the culture of the region. So on one hand is this river Hooghly, the Strand Road is here and the site is divided into two. So this is the first part which is actually a ghat and this the other. And over here is the historic Fort Williams. This Strand Road goes and connects to a stadium here and there are two ghats here, the Prinsep Ghat here and the Outram Ghat here, and it lies between the two. There are a number of activities which happen over here. So I have been trying to incorporate this in my design. So looking at the architectural developments of the region that is going back to the past, looking at what values does the architecture of the region hold, I attempted to explore a few of the structures which existed there. So one of them was the Sompura Mahavidyalaya, which exists there in Bengal and which is a brick structure. And it has been a fascinating site because there is a relation of nature and the bricks over there. Because it is a delta region, the bricks are available in abundance. And that is how these structures are made up in brick and they hold a particular character and an essence. The next structure which I was looking at was the Katra Mosque. The Katra Mosque is in Murshidabad. And this mosque is one of the most important and significant structures in the area as it was the first structure to be built there. And the most important thing about this structure is that it has a number of designs in the flooring pattern. And these designs are actually made up of brick and each is quite unique to the other. So these actually are inspired by the weaves of the region, the textile of the region. So this again brings us to the question of commonalities, the question of reflecting upon these bonds and ties So textile and these weaving patterns became one important factor in the brickwork which was to be done. The another monument I was looking at was the temples of Bishnupur, especially the Ras Manch in Bishnupur in Bengal. So what happens when a person travels through these temples? What is the essence of these was what I tried to decode. Some other elements which I was looking at were the local grasses which grew in the rural areas of Bengal, the brick which was there, the levels and how the people used it. So I'll come to the site plan now. Looking at the site plan, as I just explained, the river is here and the main entry is from the river because rivers form one of the most essential part of the culture of the region. So the access is from the river. What happens here is actually light and this road is dark because there is a subway which connects to the other side. So there is a cyclic nature to the journey. So it starts from here and then it goes on to the dark. Then it comes to the site which is the light again. It goes on to complete the circle in the dark, which is the subway below the Strand Road, and again to the Ghat. So this is a very cyclic nature of the journey, which I was trying to create through the design. So the site, now when divided into two, what are the components I'm looking at? What are the ingredients of the site is what I tried to uncover. So speaking of the basic zoning as to how the spaces were divided and what was it which consisted of the movement pattern, the entrance happens from here. And the entrance is actually shaped like a boat, like the form of a boat. So if I just had to sketch it out, what happens here is that the entrance protrudes into the water. So this becomes the entry which actually reflects into the water and forms a kind of a symbol. So all the boats which line along the ghat, along these beautiful ghats, actually come and stand and stack along the riverside. So this is trying to mimic that in a way. And then there is a light which falls over here in a cut form. And then there was an existing tree which has been preserved here. So this composed of the essential design of the entrance area. Coming back to the zoning, there are the ghats which abut these. And then one has to actually take a subway down, a subway below, which is dark. These subways are the memories of the partition. These subways, the dark subways, are the ones which actually house the memories which the people had then. These would house the objects the people have left behind from all these events which happened. Events such as the language movement, events such as the liberation of Bengal in 71, which I talked about. Coming here after these dark events is the sweet and sour relation which we today share between West Bengal and Bangladesh. Coming here is the open court or the Palash court, wherein there are two massive Palash trees, and Palash forms a very interesting cultural context in the area because it has been used for various celebrations throughout. So this interesting Palash court is the central element of the design here. There is an admin block which is situated over here. So the admin block is there for all the official activities which happen. It houses the ticket counter, it houses the reception area of the structure. Even this has been shaped in a similar way as the entrance so that there is a continual reference to it. In the admin area, what happens is the admin area is divided into two parts. The first part is actually the roof wherein it is landscaped here. So the urban public comes and can enjoy this, and the vegetation actually has these recessed niches where the shadows fall. So it is a place for the shadows to rest. This is where the recesses are, and here the elements of traditional architecture come into play. And this level actually becomes different from the level above, and thus there is a segregation of what happens above and what happens below, of the formal and the informal, of what is active and what is recessed below. Coming ahead are the areas of the seminar. These workshop areas would be active spaces for hosting various events in the structure. When we look at what happens here is the changing exhibits area. The changing exhibits area is an interesting one because it refers back and goes back to the geography of the land itself. Speaking of the changing exhibits area, Bengal is like a swamp, it is a delta. So in the delta region, when there is monsoons, there is a lot of water which comes into the delta. And that is what is the attempt here. So 3/4 of the area is dedicated to water bodies, and amongst that emerges the architecture, amongst that emerges the brick, amongst that emerges the areas for exhibits. So the changing exhibits area is a very informal activity which happens. The elements of this include walls which are not straight, walls which are tapering like this, and then there are the elements of water. So these elements come into play. So what the attempt has been here to do is to play with light as well. So if there are these levels which are playing, there would be a lot of vegetation which comes down. So it actually gives it an effect of being in a ruin. So it is as if you are going into the ruin. So this area is partially submerged in the land. So being submerged is again an expression of how those events are submerged in our memories, not actually finding immediate responses or immediate expressions, so to say, but to find responses in a very subtle way. So there is a lot of play of light and shadow which is actually happening here along these columns. And these columns go back to the colonial architecture, and these refer to the local native language of architecture. This makes it familiar to the people. This doesn't make it seem alien to the people. What for me was interesting in the design were smaller elements which actually added a lot of value to the design. So for instance, there is a staircase which leads one to the roof, to the top from here, through the changing exhibits area. And what is happening here is that there is a roof and there are sittings along a skylight there. So this roof is actually perforated, which allows a lot of light to come in. And in the process, what happens is this wall becomes a cyclorama for the play of nature, for the play of light and shadow. And there are existing trees which are always there to cast their shadows. So this is how some of the elements have been perceived. So what is happening is there is a sitting here. And when the people sit on this, there are shadows of the people who are sitting on it which fall on the wall. So that is how it becomes dramatic. And once you know when you're walking through here that someone is sitting above, there is a chance of interaction. These are chance interactions which the design attempts to narrate and create. And it is like a story which evolves around these small elements, these small narrations. And then there are some other interesting elements as well. For instance, there is a space wherein one can actually go and experience water. So there are submerged steps wherein the water is coming into these spaces and one actually can go and experience this water for himself or herself. So these are the spaces which make the design, so to say. Coming back to the zoning and where we were, so we have actually journeyed through here, we have come back here, and then we are going to the next space here, which are the seminar halls, wherein a lot of lectures and research work could actually happen. And above this is the restaurant. The restaurant is the only structure or the only part of the design which is on the first level, which is a level above. To access this restaurant, one can take a staircase from within here, from within a courtyard, or one can walk through a long ramp here. So what happens in this long journey of a ramp is that you cannot actually see what is there on the first level. So when a person is walking here, there is an element of water which is placed on this level. So the water constantly is falling here and it creates a sound. It creates this sound which as you keep walking ahead intensifies. So there is this element of creating senses, creating the experience of senses throughout the design. So the sense here is that of the sound, because the person had come from the river, he or she had come from the water. Then through the changing exhibits area, there was an exposure to water again. And here the water has been shown in a very different way. So there are many ways of portraying water throughout the structure, and this becomes an experience to be heard. Another interesting thing which has been attempted in the restaurant is to go back to the idea of the Mughal gardens, where instead of having the normal gardens which actually enjoy the base or the trunk of the trees, when the person is standing here, the view is actually to the trunk. But what the traditional Mughal gardens do in northern India is that they lift this platform up. And in doing so, they create an elevated view which can enjoy this canopy here. In this canopy is the availability of the fruits, is the birds which come in, and this becomes another active area. And this area has been proposed This area has been proposed close to a dense plantation which existed here. Coming to the next space is that of the library here. The library forms the knowledge base of the structure. The archives are placed in the library. The idea of the library is that there would be two different levels and there would be different activities happening on both. The library stack actually happens below. So the light which is coming in happens from here, from all these niches. And there are courtyards which are celebrated. So this also has an access from the road. So a person coming from the road enters a well-like structure from within. There are steps which lead one to this level, and there is an element of water here. So there is a transition from the urban, from the congested, from the road, from the traffic to the silence of the library. So this creates a spatial experience. So the idea has been here to narrate an experience which is embodied in the land, in the people there. This library goes on and opens up into a dense plantation ahead and meets the restaurant area. When we are back here, when we come back from the library outwards, we again enter a dark subway, and this subway leads us back to the ghats. These ghats are the active areas wherein activities happen during the winters and the monsoons. So there are two sections, one the winter section wherein it is very active, and in the monsoon is what the landscape takes over the structure. So when the landscape takes over the structure, there is absolute greenery. There are different types of grasses which are growing. There are local varieties of grasses which take over the land. So there is a very interesting relation of man and nature, which is there again in the older structures which we have referred to, the Sompura Mahavidyalaya and others. So what happens here is that it connects to the local people who want to come and sell there on a temporary basis. So it becomes an ephemeral space, so to say. So the journey actually started from the river. It comes back to the river. So is the case with most of the things. So is the case with life. It begins with something. It has to end in something, which is again nothingness, but with an enriched experience. So is the case with other arts. So is the case with music. You start from sa, you end at sta. And so the journey for the person here is to go back, to take back whatever he has, to take back these experiences which have enriched him. And these experiences are what form the part of a person's memory. And that is how the structure or the journey of the structure comes to a pause for the experiencer, for the perceiver. Thank you.